Good morning, everybody. Robert with Guitar Journeys going live. We're live in the middle of Kansas in the beginning of the summer. So it hasn't really gotten real hot here yet. Let me tell you something. Well, no, it's not Arizona hot. It's not Arizona hot, man. But it does get hot here. It gets hot enough here to kill you. I'll tell you that for sure. So I just stay inside. I'm old. I'm retired. I paid my dues. I worked. Oh my God. I had my first full-time job when I was 13. And I've been working ever since. I retired. I think it was in 2018. I said, time for you to hang it up, fat old dude. All right. So we're going to wait for a few people to get in here. And then today we're going to talk about jam tracks, also known as backing tracks. So let me put a little backing track on here. This is Blues in A. Uh-oh, I think we were at the end of that one. Okay, this is a Blues in A. So, one of the things about playing the guitar is soloing. So, I like to say like the actual song, you know, where you're playing. That's your meat and potatoes. You know, that's the meal, right? That's the cheeseburger. The soloing is, that's your dessert. Where am I from, sir? I am from a little town in Kansas called Russell, Kansas. Out here with the dust and the tumbleweeds. But it's nice and comfortable in my house, man. What's going on, y'all? Okay, so like I said, the song is the meal. The soloing is the dessert. That's the sugar. That's the sweet stuff. And so this here is am I black? No, dude. Can you see? I'm about as white as it gets, my brother. Okay, so the jam track that I'm playing right now the song that I'm gonna play. All right. So this backing track is slow blues in A. So I'm gonna show you kind of how to do the backing track. Right on, brother. Right on. Okay. What you want to do, and I've been working on this for a lot of years, and I still suck. You know, that's just how it is, man. It takes a lot of practice. A lot of practice. But what you want to do is you want to go on your root notes. Okay. Yeah, I'd love to visit Brazil. Heck yeah, man. Okay, so right here's an A, see? Now, find another A. Okay, there's another A right here. And then go back to this A. Now, where's another A at? Right here. Just bounce around with your A's. And then try to make a little rhythm out of it. Try to make a little, you know. You tell them. Yeah, these people think I'm magic. They pull out some song that I've never even heard and say, could you play that song? I'm like, yeah, I could do that. Sure I could. I like you, girl. You tell that guy. So, today is my yard day. I've been, well, I was going to mow yesterday. But it rained off and on. I mean, I literally was outside and getting ready to take the lawnmower out. But, yeah, I was putting the string in the weed trimmer deal. And I started hearing it raining. And I was in the garage. I could hear it, the rain hitting the roof. So I said, well, crap. I guess I will not do the yard today. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Especially to the girl that's in here. Guys don't care. We burp and fart all the time, but not around the girls. We don't want to do that in front of the girls, do we, guys? So what I do, just to let you guys know, if you're guitar players or if you're not guitar players, I have these backing tracks that I put in this app. It's called Moises. And you can do a lot of things with the backing track. So a backing track is either called a backing track or a jam track. I think there's a few other words for it. But you can do a lot of things. You can follow the chords. Kind of get used to playing the chords. So that's E minor, B minor. Let me turn up a little bit for you. F sharp. You're right there at that B minor. Catch you a little blues, catch you a little solo on it. Let's find us a B. Right there's a B. There's another B. A, B. B. It's fun to do. It's excellent practice. The basics of it is that you wanna stay on the root note, okay? So that was in a B minor. You just want to stay on the root note, the B minor. So you stay on the B and you play in a minor. So when you're doing that, I'm going to show you a little something. Okay, say there's a B right here, right? I think it's a B. Yeah, A, B, C, and then D, and then E, and then F. Okay, so this little B right there, if you play on that side, you're in a minor. If you play on that side, you're in a major. Okay? Now, okay, check it out. Put your pinky on that. And then put this finger on the, let's see, that's the 9 on the B. Down to it. That's a box 3. And that's a major. Now, if you come over here and play that 3, that's a minor. Now, do you hear the difference? All right, let me show you something. The difference between a major and a minor is something you need to train your ear. You have to train your ear to know. Okay, this is the A major. And we're going to go to the A. Okay, well, we're going to go to the B. That's fine. Okay, so this is a B major. This is a B minor. See how it has a sad sound? Your minor will have a kind of sad sound. The A is kind of more like a happy. I mean, not the A, but the major. The B major is more of like a happy sound. And then, you know, we're happy and we're sad. Yeah, the guitar kind of talks to you. E, happy E, sad E. Stick with the B minor. You don't want to stick with the. All right, let me tell you something. In the blues, and I would say maybe in like most genres, but definitely in the blues, you want to mix the minors with the majors. That's the secret sauce to playing the blues. So, one of the reasons I really like blues music because it really showcases the guitar player. It's not about the band. It's about you. It's about the guitar player. You know, rock and roll, like especially like your harder rock, it's the whole band, you know. It's everything all together, all at once. And I might not be exactly right, and this is just my opinion. I'm sure everybody's got their own opinion, and you might think that I'm stupid. I'm not saying it right, and that's fine. It's cool. But like I say, it's my opinion. Sorry, I got my brain got lost. Okay, I'm talking about different genres. The blues, you know, rock and roll, country. I like playing the blues. I love the blues music. Your band is kind of like a backing track. Your band is playing, the drums are playing, the bass is playing. That's your beat. You know, that keeps your timing, right? Boom, 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 all that good stuff. That keeps your timing. All you got to know is what key you're in. Okay. Now, the blues is a 1-4-5 format. Okay? You got your 1 chord, you got your 4 chord, you got your 5 chord. Okay, so if you have a G, let me see if I get this right. If you have a G, then you have a C, and then you have a D. Okay, that's your 1-4-5. All right, and a lot of times I like it when it's A, right? A, E, A, D, E. All right, so when the A comes along, that's the key of the song. All right, you're in the key of A. When you're in the A, you want to play the major. That's what sounds the best. And then when you're in the other two chords, you want to play in the minor. Yes, it's easier just to play in the minor. It's easier just to play in the major, but it sounds better if you play the A in a major and the D and the E in a minor. And if you can follow the chords, that even sounds better. So, anyways, that's my little talk about. This is what I've learned so far. I'm not very good at it still. Playing the guitar is never a finished product, right? Until you're finished. When you're done, then that's all the further you're going to go. When you get too old to play, when you're too old to play, then that's all the further you're going to go. Right? But until then, you're never too old to learn. You have to keep learning all the time. Keep practicing all the time. Keep learning all the time. Keep pushing it, right? I'm always constantly pushing it. Like, I'll put a song on there and I'll say, I am so far away from being able to play that song. Why are you putting it on there, right? And I say, because you got to push it, man. Push it all the time. If it's something that you can't play, perfect. Put it in there, man. Put it on your list. Start working on it. About 10 years ago, I was listening to the stereo one day. I was listening to the stereo one day, and the song Sunshine of Your Love came on by Eric Clapton. I'm a huge Eric Clapton fan. And I took a look at it, I Googled the chords and all that, and I watched a video on playing the song. And I said, man, I am so far away from being able to play that song. But I'm going to write it down on a piece of paper. And one of these days, I'm going to play that song. So I wrote it down. And I wrote something like, in the future, or one of these days, or something like that, and I wrote it down. And guess what? Can I play it perfect? No. But I can play it. And guess what? When I play it with the Moises app and have my stereo turned up really loud, it sounds real good. And guess what? It's real fun to play. And you know what? That, my friend, is what it's all about. If it's sounding good to you and you're having fun doing it, then you have accomplished what you set out to do. Yeah, man, you bet. Something in the orange. Something in the orange. What is that? What is something in the orange? Tell me what you're talking about, Travis. One thing that I always, ouch, I pinched a nerve in my back right there. I have a bad back, guys, and gals. Hey, this person that has the name Lonely, have you ever listened to Los Lonely Boys? Oh, okay. Let me see. So that's great. Something in the orange, huh? Hey, what's going on, man? It's crazy, man. People always asking me, what's your favorite song? I say, I can't. I can't even begin to give you my favorite song. I have no idea. I really don't. I mean, my favorite country, my favorite rock, my favorite blues. Um, I don't know. My favorite Christian. I definitely can't say like I have a favorite song. I definitely can't. I can tell you like the first song that I heard on the radio when I was a kid that made me go, huh? What was that? I want to hear that again. My first song that done that to me that I really remember. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can find it. Turn it up. And I remember I like that song, Don't Rock the Boat. Don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. I ought to play that song too, you know what? I like that song, man. It's cool. Um, yeah, man. Music is just beautiful, you know? Music is one of the things. Well, I'm not gonna say it's free because I pay Spotify almost $20 a month. It's real close to 20 a month. They keep raising it up about every year. Started out about I think around $12 a month, and now it's up to about 20. Hey, thanks, Travis. Take it easy, man. Have a nice day. Um, so Sultans of Swang. um, I do like Dire Straits. I really do. I've got a pretty nice stereo system. And that's one CD that really jams. I got a 2-channel amplifier that pushes out 500 watts per channel. And I have 400-watt Cerwin Vega speakers. They're old, man. They're old speakers. I've had them reconed. I've had to put new guts in them. But they jam. I mean, they really do jam out. And have an old Pioneer amp, or not amp, but a receiver. And when you put that the Dire Straits CD in there, it jams. It jams real hard. You have to be careful, man, because if I blow those speakers up again, I have blown them up. I cranked them out so loud one night that it blew the cone right out of that thing, right out of the woofer. So anyways, I don't want to blow those speakers up again because you have to take everything apart and you have to take the speaker to a place that, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but you can rebuild a speaker. So it's a lot cheaper. It's about half the price of buying a new one. And I done that when I was in Colorado. I took it to a place in Denver. And that guy rebuilt that speaker like brand new, man. I mean, they take everything off of the speaker and they put everything back new. And sound just as good as the original. I think it cost me, I'm thinking maybe around 150 bucks. Somewhere around in there is what it cost me to have that done. A new speaker for that, I think was going to run me about 300. So yeah, anyways, I like that CD. I'm not good enough to play their music yet, and it's not really my thing. I don't practice rock and roll music. I don't try to play rock and roll music. I am a blues guy. I practice, I study, and I play blues music. I don't have nothing against rock music. Okay? I like rock music, but it's not what I like to play. So I know people don't really get this, but when you play something that you're not really into, it's different. You're just playing it because someone wants you to play it. When you play something that you're into, something that you like to play, something that really gets your juices going, it's different, man. It's like, yeah, now we can do our thing. Because ever since I started playing the guitar, that's what I studied. I took lessons. I mean, I have about probably, I would guess at least 10 courses, and they're all on the blues. And if I could hang out with there, that's a good question. Hell yeah. That's a really good question. That's an excellent question. I think about that all the time too. Well, it would definitely be Eric Clapton. Uh, but I would be so like blown away just to be in his presence. I really don't know. It would take me a couple of hours just to get like, all right, we're cool. Let's just chill out for a while. Eric Clapton, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Joe Bonamassa. Whoa. If you uh, if you don't know any of these people that I'm saying, write it down and later go listen to some of their music. Uh, Chris Tone Kingfish. He's a heavyset black kid. He's pretty young. I think he's probably in his 30s. He's an amazing guitar player, and he's writes his own songs. He's really good, excellent, and a lot of people never heard of him. And Joe Bonamassa, he's been around. He's been playing since he was a kid. I've seen videos when he was like 12 years old playing on stage with like Eric Clapton and other people. He's probably in his 50s. Fantastic guitar player. Man, I mean, he's so good. Um, John Mayer. John Mayer, he's another guy, man. He's a fantastic guitar player. Buddy Guy. Buddy Guy's a fantastic. All these people that I'm talking about, these are all blues guys. They play blues music. People don't know the difference. They think it's rock and roll. It's not rock and roll. It's blues. Um, Go check out Kenny Wayne Shepherd. My God, that guy's a monster on the guitar. So here's a little something. This might trip you out a little bit. It's kind of a funny little thing that I have that I do, and my wife she goes along with it. Okay, so one night I had this crazy dream. Do you know who Stevie Ray Vaughan is? Um, I can't play that. I can't play that song. I have no idea how to play that song. That's a big song. Johnny Be Good. That's a real big song. Um, so, anyways, I had this dream that I was playing my guitar, and Stevie Ray Vaughan walked in the room, and I said, "Oh my God, Stevie Ray Vaughan! Whoa, that's so cool!" And he goes, "Hey man, what's going on? I'm Stevie," and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I know who you are." And he said, "Can I see your guitar for a minute?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, man, of course." And I handed him my guitar, and he took my guitar and he just started jamming, just like jamming and jamming and jamming. And then he handed it back to me, and I'm like, "Whoa, I didn't know my guitar could do that." And he said, "Hey, do you know the only difference between you and me is the thousands and thousands of hours that I practiced. Because that's all I used to do, man, is just practice all the time. If I wasn't playing, I was practicing." He said, well, you can do it. Anyone can do it if you just practice enough. And I said, oh, man, that's cool. And he said, here's the thing, though, man. You're not practicing not even close to enough. You have to, like, double and triple your practice time. I mean, you're just not practicing enough. If you want to get to where I was at, you have to practice more. And I said, all right, that's cool, man. Thanks for your advice. And then he just got up and he goes, hey, I'll talk to you later, all right? He goes, let's stay in touch. And I said, yeah, for sure, Stevie. Thanks for talking to me, man. And he goes, all right, I got to go now. Take care. And then I woke up. And I'm not lying, okay? I woke my wife up. I know she was like, what the heck? Why are you waking me up? I'm like, you're not going to believe this. I said, I just had the craziest dream. I mean, it was so real. Stevie Ray Vaughan came and talked to me. I said, it was so real. And so I got this little thing. I'm going to answer your question in a minute. Give me a minute. I'm going to answer your question, okay? Give me a minute. So I got this little thing that I tell my wife. Because a lot of times when I'm practicing, I like get in a zone, you know. There's like practice, there's okay, you know. But then sometimes I get like in a zone where I'm like going to town, you know, just ripping it up. And I tell my wife, Stevie's in me, man, Stevie's in me. Because I'll go like, come on, Stevie, come on, get your soul inside of my soul. And you could play the guitar, man. You could use my hands, you know. You could use me, but you play. You come inside me and you play. And so I have this little joke I tell my wife. I say, Stevie wants to go lay down, take a nap. Or I'll say like, Stevie wants to go eat at Freddy's. She's like, okay, well, we better go get Stevie some food. I'm like, yeah, Stevie's hungry, man. Or like, we'll be somewhere, and she'll say, what do you think about that? And I'll say, let me ask Stevie. So I have a little joke, you know, like I say, Stevie's part of Stevie Ray Vaughan's spirit lives in me. So you know how like God lives in you? Well, I say like Stevie lives in me. So I don't have any Buddy Holly music, but I'm sure eventually I will. I don't have any right now. Oh, well, okay, let me say, because I grew up in Kansas, I'm a big Kansas fan. I love Kansas music, but I don't play rock and roll music. I'm not interested in playing rock and roll music. You ever heard the saying, the term like stay in your lane, right? So that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. I don't play rock and roll music. I have no desire to play rock and roll music. I don't want to play AC/DC. I don't want to play Dire Straits. I don't want to play Kansas. I like to play Kenny Wayne Shepherd. I like to play Stevie Ray Vaughan. Buddy Guy. I don't practice rock and roll because it takes too much time. It's just not my thing, man. So I put on shows. I will play you some Buddy Holly though. So like old rock and roll, that's easy. New rock and roll, that's hard. That's hard work, man. It takes a lot to learn a song. String that guitar. It takes a lot of work to learn a song. And I have so many songs that I'm working on right now that I've been working on for a very long time. And yeah, I just don't. I'm just, my brain doesn't have any interest in it. So I don't do it. The only one rock and roll song that I work on, and I do this mainly, certain songs I try to mess around with just because I know it's good practice. So like AC/DC. And don't get me wrong, I'm a rocker. I'm like Joe Dirt, man. I'm a rocker through and through, right? Def Leppard. I grew up with rock and roll. Yeah, I'm a big, huge fan of rock and roll. When I used to run around and party, I loved Ozzy Osbourne, Ted Nugent, Boston, Journey, all of that. My sister, she's always, whenever she's around me, she says, "Do you know any Journey?" I said, "Oh my God, I'll put some on the stereo for you." She don't get it either. She don't get it. She's like, do you know any Santana? I'm like, oh my God, dude. Have you ever listened to any Santana music? Ever? He plays, he don't like strum chords. He plays like individual notes. And he is like the dude, right? And he plays in a, may I ask, the greatest concert you ever been to? Ah, that's a good, Power Girl, you got some good questions. That's a hard question though to answer. Because what makes a concert so good, right? Is it because you're so hyped up because you've been wanting to see him all your life? Is it because they're like the coolest band ever? Is it because the guitar player is somebody that you kind of follow and you just really want to see this guitar player play? Yeah, it's not an easy thing. Oh, I know one that sticks in my mind probably the most would be Ozzy. I seen Ozzy in 1982, Diary of a Madman, and it was a very cool concert. I do remember coming out of there with my head just like banging because it was so loud in there. One of the concerts that I went to that's very rememberable was Van Halen. David Lee Roth was the lead singer. Roth, I think is how you pronounce that. Roth. David Lee Ross, maybe? David Lee Ross? I'm not for sure. How do you pronounce that? Let's see. Let's Google David Lee Ross. Anyways, he got hammered. David Lee Roth. It's David Lee Roth. He got hammered, drunk. He had a bottle of Jack Daniels on the stage drinking it. About probably halfway through, he started stopping in the middle of the song because he forgot the lyrics. And about the second or third time he did that, people started booing. I thought we were going to have a riot. I got to be honest with you. I really thought the whole place was going to have a riot. People started throwing shit up on the stage. Sorry about my language. People started throwing stuff on the stage. They had to close, they had to leave. They had to get off the stage. That's how bad it got. And they didn't come back. And man, I'll tell you what, the whole Coliseum was going nuts. We wanted our money back. We either wanted our money back or we wanted something. We really wanted them to come back out and finish the show, but they never came back out. So we got about a half a concert. And I remember that very well because I told the guys that I was with, I said, let's get out of here, man. This place is going to go nuts. Put your head over the camera. There you go. How's that? You guys got to get used to me without a hat. I wear a hat all the time, like when I put on shows and everything. and I do wear a hat most of the time. But you know, I'm me, man. I'm me. I never try to be nobody else. I'm me. That's the thing with me. I'm real. Okay? I'm not fake. When I go to church, you ever go to church and everybody's like, "Oh, God bless you. Oh, I love you. God bless you. Oh, God is so wonderful. God is so great." And then you go out on the town and you see that same person. Oh, they're acting like a jerk, cussing someone out or flipping someone off or cutting them off in the car, right? That's fake. When you see me in church, you see me. I don't act like that in church. No. You want God bless you? God bless you, but you stay over there. I don't need a hug. Go sit down and act normal. I don't like people being fake. Yeah. My neighbor. Oh, I'm such a big Christian. I don't have to worry about getting a COVID shot. God will protect me. I'm not worried about dying. All right, that's cool. That's cool. But she always has rude stuff to say all the time. I'm like, that's Christian? That's Christian. I don't want to be Christian then if that's Christian. I'll say to myself, I say, lady, you have no idea what being a Christian is. Okay? Going to church, telling everybody that you're a Christian is not a Christian. Okay, enough about that. Enough about that. But anyways, I don't like fakeness. I'm not fake. I'm real. This is me. That's my hair. You don't like it? You have to get used to it because that's me. Oh, yeah. I went to a church in Colorado called Cowboy Church. And we all got set down one day. We're ready for church and everything. And the pastor comes out in his big old cowboy hat and his cowboy boots and everything. And he says, "Church, we're going to have a little talk today." And he said, for the people that are members of this church, I want you to know that the church is the people. This is a building. It's just a building. We are the church. He said, when you leave here, you are still part of this church. So when you go out around town and you're doing things that aren't in line with this church, and I hear about it from other people, it really upsets me. Because you guys come in here and you're real churchy and real nice to everybody, but you want to go out there on the street and do bad things and act bad and treat people bad. He said, I'm not going to put up with it. You're going to act, either you're going to act right when you leave here, or you're not going to be members of this church. And everybody's just sitting there going, whoa, what the heck happened? And he said, I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not going to say anything about any certain person. He goes, but more than likely, some of you know what I'm talking about. He said, I'm not going to put up with it. He goes, you guys have to, when you leave here, you have to act like you're still in church. So, yeah. I love that pastor, man. He was a good pastor. But, that's how it is. People, I see it all the time, man. That's one of the reasons I don't go to church here in this town, the town that I live in. People, all they want to know is, what are you doing? Where you been? How much money you make? I mean, just what the heck, man? I don't know you do. Why are you asking me all those questions? And then they say, Robert, can you play your guitar? No, I don't want to. Could you just come and play at one time for us? No, I don't want to. Uh, you could play like this guy will play the bass, you could play the guitar, everything will be fine. I said, I'm not interested. Please, please leave me alone. Okay? I don't want to. And then they never leave me alone. They just keep it up and keep it up. So finally I said, I'm done. I'm out of here. I don't want to go play in the church. I'm not interested. Yeah, man, I tried that. You know, I would play in a band, but not now. There's the little town that I live in. Um, there's not enough people that I know that I could go over and play music with. And but I am thinking about later, like maybe I don't know. I'm thinking about selling the house and moving to a bigger town where there's more people, and then maybe I might would play in a band. No, I don't want to play in church. I had a little deal with my sister-in-law. We went to California in November to go to my wife's mother's funeral. And my sister-in-law started in on me about playing in the church. And I told her like 2 or 3 times, I'm not interested. You know, I got my thing, man. I'm doing my thing. It takes all the time I have. I don't have any extra time. I don't want to play in church. If you play in church, you have to practice those songs all week. I don't like making mistakes, okay? When I play, I like to play good. I don't like to play, so and so. Especially when I'm in front of people. I like to play good. So, if you're playing in a church, which I think it would be fun, I think it'd be cool, I think it'd be all right. But here's one thing. They don't play the kind of music that I like to play. That's the main thing. And the other thing is, it will take up all of my time. You get a list of like, okay, they're going to play like 5 songs, right? So you have to learn those songs and practice those songs all week. That's all my time. Where am I gonna have the time to do what I want to do? So anyways, I'm not interested in, I told my sister-in-law like 2 or 3 times, look, I'm not interested in playing in church, okay? Change the subject. What's for dinner? What are we going to eat? I don't know. Just change the subject. Uh, so let me tell you a little trip that I do, bud. Talking about giving money to church and all that. When you tithe your income, I'm a big believer of tithing your money. I really am. I'm a big believer of God. I'm a big believer that if you give a blessing, you're going to receive a blessing. And God, we give our money to organizations, right? People that I think can really use the money. I don't give my money to a church because the money you give to a church goes to that church. It goes to pay the rent. It goes to pay the bills. It goes to pay the pasture. Whatever, I mean, that's cool, right? That's okay. But I don't go to a church right now. It's too far to drive to go to a church that we like. So we don't go there. I don't like any of the churches in this town. Everybody's fake. Everybody wants to talk about you and everyone else behind your back. They won't leave me alone about playing my guitar. So I don't go to church in here. But we give our money to organizations that I think are worth giving money to. like the veterans, like Children's Hospital, like Special Olympics, like, stuff like that. So we do give money because I think it's important to give. I really do. Um, but you don't have to give it to the church. God never said you have to give it to the church. Like the Mexican mafia. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. And you know something else? I like playing Christian music. It jams, man. It does jam. And if I did play in a church, I don't want nobody playing with me. Okay? I will play. Um, and I might later. I might do that later. But for right now, I don't want to. Hey, what's going on, man? You know the good thing about playing a guitar? You're the boss. You're the boss of that guitar. You play what you want to play. That's the whole dig. That's the whole thing, man. Right? If someone told me you're gonna play the guitar, but you got to play what we want you to play, I'd say, well, I'm not interested in that. I'm just not interested, man. Um, so we went to this really big church in Colorado. You guys are church people. You want to check out a really cool church? Check out the Foundation. It's in Loveland, Colorado, and in Windsor, Colorado. And they have a full band. I'm telling you, man, the whole stage is full. You know, they have like a couple of guitar players, a bass player, a drummer. I've even seen them with two drummers, a keyboard, horns. I've seen them play with horns. Hang on, I got to text my wife. Um, and I enjoyed it. When we went to church there and they played music, I enjoyed it. Um, not cool, man. You didn't like horrible place. You didn't like Colorado? What part of Colorado did you live in? See, Wag. What's your name? That sounds like me. My last name is Wagoner. Greetings from India. Cool, man. Cool, cool, brother. Nice to see you, man. How's it going in India today? Everything cool over there? Denver and Durango. That's cool. I lived in Greeley for most of the time that I was there. I know you heard of Greeley. And then I moved to Loveland, and I know you heard of Loveland. I lived in Loveland for about, let me see, 5 years. I lived in Loveland for 5 years. We might be related. Oh man, we might be. Well, so I went to Colorado in 1986. I think I was 26 years old, somewhere around there. Okay. So I went to Greeley because I thought that Kansas was just like dead. I said, man, there's no jobs. There's no good jobs anyways. Um, they're just like nothing, man. I'm not going to spend all of my life, in Kansas. It's just like dead. So, I was a kid. I was young. I wanted some excitement. So I moved to Greeley, Colorado. And yeah, man, I had a whole life. I was married, married twice, divorced twice, had 2 kids, worked at a packing house for 14 years, and messed up my back and my neck. I ended up starting my own business because nobody else would hire me. And I ran that business for 20 some years. So yeah, I did my deal in Colorado. Then they legalized marijuana and half of the country moved to Colorado. So it messed everything up, man. Too many people, way too many people. You couldn't go to the store comfortably. You couldn't go to a restaurant. There was like no place to park. Every time you go to a restaurant, all right, go to a restaurant on a Wednesday night, right? Now normally there might be 10 cars in the parking lot. Plenty of room to sit. No problem. Get in, eat, go home. Right? After about a couple of years after they legalized marijuana, you could go to any restaurant in town. I mean, literally any restaurant, and there was no place to park at all. Um, and that's like during the week. Forget going on the weekend. Super stoners. Yeah. Yeah, they ruined it, man. They definitely ruined it. They definitely ruined Colorado. They definitely did. That's how it is in Florida. You know, if you're going to legalize marijuana, legalize it in the whole country. You know, people are going to smoke weed anyways. I smoked weed when I was a kid. Do you think we cared if it was legal or not? We did not care. I mean, I got thrown in jail before for having a little bit of pot, like, you know, enough to roll a joint, and I got thrown in jail for it. When I got out of jail, guess what I did? I went and got more weed. I did not care that it was not legal. So the point I'm making, uh, my neighbors sell weed, right? Their kids, they got their kids selling weed. Their kids. I mean, they're adults, they sell weed, but they got kids, and they have their kids selling weed to their friends. I mean, I sat here and I watched them come and go all day long, all day, all night. That's what they're doing. They're selling weed. The point I'm trying to make is people are not going to stop because it's not legal. It's not legal in Kansas. Everybody here smokes weed. You can smell it all over the place, just like in Colorado. Is Kansas stupid? Very stupid. That's a broke state. They don't have, like, you know, hardly no money. Guess what? If you taxed marijuana, you'd have some money. Right? They're just stupid, man. People are smoking it anyways. Make it legal. All right. That's enough. From Indonesia, John Robert. What's going on, John Robert? Just curious. I live in Utah. Do you have an opinion of Utah? Opinion of it. So I've only been to Utah one time. And I didn't go into Utah very far into Utah. I went to Grand Junction, Colorado. And then we drove just far enough to get into Utah. I just wanted to see like what it looked like. So I don't really have an opinion on Utah because the only thing I seen was just like, and I don't even really remember. I was in my 20s when I did that. So I really don't, I really can't say much about Utah because I don't really know much about it. But I think it's a nice state. I think it's got a lot of mountains. Um, yeah, I just never been through there. Um, I think that if you go to California, you can go through Utah, right? Colorado and then Utah. We went to California in November, but I didn't want to go through Colorado. I didn't want to go through the mountains. That was the main thing. So I went through New Mexico. Um, we went from Kansas to New Mexico to Arizona and then California. And then we came back the same way too. And my wife never did answer me. All right, y'all, I'm going to have to get running. Tax the weed. You got it, man. That's what I say. Look, people here, man, they just, I don't know, they do things backwards. They just do. Um, I moved out here because I would tell you that one of the main reasons that we moved. So pretty. I didn't want to go through the mountains because the car that we rented only had two-wheel drive. That was one. And I didn't want to have to deal with like snow because it was in like, it was right at Christmas time when we left. So I think it was, I'm trying to think. Well, we got, yeah, it was in December by the time we left. Yeah, about the end of December. We got to California on Christmas Eve. So I didn't want to drive through the mountains mainly because of that. Because the car that we were driving was a 2023 Dodge Challenger with two-wheel drive in the back. And I said, you know, we need to stay out of the mountains, away from the snow. Plus, I think it was like quicker where we went and easier. So, but believe me, I spent so many days driving around in the mountains. When you live in Colorado, and the town that we lived in, Loveland, it's right up next to the mountains. I mean, you walk outside and there's the mountains. They're right there. So, yeah, I had my share of the mountains. Okay, guys, as much as I hate to, I gotta go mow the grass. If I could put rocks in the yard and just have nothing but rocks, that would be fine with me. I don't really care if we have grass in our yard or not. Good stuff, cool. I like this girl. Um, but unfortunately, we have grass, and it's been raining quite a bit, so the grass is growing. When it's dry, like when it doesn't rain a lot, you can mow the grass, and the grass doesn't grow because I don't water it, and you don't have to mow except for maybe every other week. But when it rains quite a bit, like it has been doing lately, you have to mow once a week. So it's a whole thing, man. You got to mow the grass, then you got to trim it with the little edger deal, and then you got to spray all the weeds, and that's time that I could be playing my guitar. I could be downstairs jamming out, practicing, learning new songs. But instead, I have to go out and do the yard work. So I told my wife I want to sell the house and move into an apartment building where I don't have to do anything. But then I got to thinking about it. I won't be able to play my guitar very loud. There you go, dry landscaping. Yeah, like Nevada. In California, a lot of people have artificial grass, and it looks really nice. And I thought about doing it here. The only problem with doing it here is that the weather and the sun. I'd have to replace it about every other year. Because the wind and the sun, it just destroys things. And it's not cheap. If you want to put the artificial grass, what's artificial? The grass. They have artificial grass. But if you want to put the stuff that looks really nice, it's expensive. I would say to do, I have a little front yard. I think it would probably cost over $1,000, maybe about $1,500 to put it, to buy the grass and put it on there. And then you gotta really do it right if you want it to look good. And then to have to do that like every other year, I don't think it'd be worth it. But yeah, that's where we're at in life. I gotta go mow the grass. And it's supposed to get up to like 90 something. Let me see. How hot is it right now? 84? That's not bad. I can handle 84. When it gets up to 90, I gotta be careful because I'm old and it gets real humid out here and I might die. Oh my God. I have a heat stroke. All right, Power Girl. Thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it. Do you play the guitar? Stay hydrated. I got you, man. You're going to practice some drums? Cool. Oh, man. Don't go that long without playing. Hey, Power Girl, do you play the guitar? No? Just like watching? Get you a guitar, man. It's fun. And it's really good for your brain to learn how to play an instrument. You'll love it. I highly recommend that you go get you a guitar and start learning. It's a great hobby, and like I say, it's a lot of fun. Look at it like this. The guitar is a puzzle, and it's the biggest puzzle you'll ever try to put together. All right, Power Girl. Thanks, man. See that name? Oh, Powder. Powder Girl. I thought it was saying power. Powder. All right, Powder Girl. Well, rock on. Or blues. Do the blues. I started playing it and I love it. Yeah. All right. Oh, are you the one that was playing the guitar and you were playing the drums? Oh, I see. I got you. I got you. All right, you take care too. Thanks for joining. I'll be on tonight at 7 if you want to come back and talk some more. I appreciate you got my back. All right, guys. Like always, I'm Robert. This is Guitar Journeys. I'm going to get out of here, go do some yard work. I thought about doing a live stream of me mowing the grass, but you guys don't want to watch some old fat dude mow the grass. Okay, 7 o'clock, buddy. We'll go over some guitar stuff, okay? All right, y'all. Peace out. I got to eat a little bite, feed the dog. I got something in my top of my head. What is that? Maybe a flea. Maybe the dog gave me a flea. All right. See y'all.